Do you think is it okay to take education loan if you want to study higher? What's your point of view?
As long as you don't see it as a gift. It is not a gift, it is a loan.
One of the worst loan I have seen in my life, people getting trapped to is a credit card loans.
Credit card, it's not even a loan. A credit card is a way to make a payment at the time, and you will pay back. You will pay that every month.
I know you also bought your first condo on Montana. What was your reason to go for a house?
If you keep acquiring property, you're also acquiring responsibility to take care of that property. As a single parent, we were living in a condo, my two daughters and I. When you live on a ranch community or small community, working as a way of life.
Hello everyone. I want to introduce you to a powerful personality on our show on financial freedom. And you know I'm on the journey to help a lot of people, millions of people to have a financial freedom, retired at 40, and a lot of powerful things they can do after they have financial freedom. So on the show, I've got a very powerful personality. Her name is Rebecca. She is from Montana, US. She's a best-selling author of a book called Where Sun Sets in East or Not at All. She's also an educator. She's been working in a field of education for more than 4 decades. And she's helping a lot of educational systems to define a better system so we can have where kids can learn better in the schools and colleges. And her expertise into multicultural approach, because she has traveled 142 countries. We are shooting this in Dubai, UAE right now. And I want her to share a lot of thoughts, because traveling 142 countries, living the life of her dreams and on own terms, there's a very important element we all have in our life is called money. If you do not manage your finances well, you will not be able to live your life on your terms, and then you'll be slave and you're not free. That's why the show is Financial Freedom. So thank you, Rebecca, joining in on the show and sharing your entire life's nuggets so people can learn.
Okay.
So let me start. When did you realize that financial planning is very important in life? And because why I'm asking this question is, a lot of people think that earning money, they are doing jobs, they're doing business, and they keep earning. Why do plan? Because a lot of time in life. So when did you realize this?
At a very young age.
Wow.
Teen years at the most. Just because you're responsible for yourself, and finances are part of those choices that you have, and so you have to be responsible about the decisions you make related to finances.
But you're saying teen years, right? Teen years.
Yes.
What age approximately? 17, 18?
No, probably 12.
12, wow. The next question comes to me, no school is teaching financial literacy today. Even last 100 years history, even if you look at the curriculum on any school across world, we all have to understand the game of money and finance, but no one is teaching, and we have to discover it ourselves. So where does this comes to you at age 12?
Common sense.
Common sense, wow. So financial freedom is nothing but a common sense. And we're going to realize in the interview that, everyone can do it if you have a common sense, which is very uncommon these days, but let's see. So when was your first investment? First investment was done what age?
In my piggy bank.
Wow. So if you're a parent, you're looking to us right now, that's where it starts. You have kids at the house, you want to teach them financial freedom. First thing is buy a piggy bank. Make sure they keep saving money in the piggy bank.
Yeah, and if there's a coin laying around, put it in the piggy bank.
Wow. Isn't it common sense? Yes, it's very simple common sense. So have a piggy bank and teach them that they have to save it. And what age do you started working?
Working?
Yeah.
When you live on a ranch community or small community, working as a way of life.
Wow.
From just that's what you do.
And where does this traveling so many countries, were you always like that, that I want to travel across world and know the world, or it developed later on in life?
No, traveling was a part of a way of living.
Again, wow.
Our father took us and our friends, 2 carloads and one father, on trips from the time we were, 8, 9, 10 years old, through high school.
Through high school. So traveling was part of life. So whenever I talk to her offline also, when we were discussing, she says, I asked, give me one advice, Rebecca, on financial freedom. She says, Kailash, very simple. It's a way of life. Simple. So what I love about Rebecca is she makes things very simple. So let's come to the time when you decided to build something for yourself, or how it became a serious affair of doing a financial planning, and how it became.
Probably the first financial conscious commitment I made was going to university and doing the loans, student loans. And that was the first time I ever actually took that risk of a loan.
And how was your thoughts, and how did you work around to pay off those loans? Because I also know when I speak to you and I speak to a lot of other experts, it's a mindset and way of living. So would you like to talk about the mindset? Because a lot of students are listening to us and they want to study university and they want to take a loans. And how do you build your life around that?
That's probably the key, is building your life around that, and because around that is responsibility. Responsibility for yourself, to make sure that your future is what you need it to be. That's your responsibility.
But do you think, is it okay to take education loan if you want to study higher? What's your point of view?
As long as you don't see it as a gift. It is not a gift, it is a loan. And as soon as you finish that program and you begin your work, you begin paying it back, because it was a gift you gave yourself.
Wow. And if I talk about a country or the continent we live in, like India, their financial loan is taken by parents, and sometimes kids think that, after passing out, it's not their responsibility. But I would say the day the application goes in, your father or mother is just a guarantor. But it is your responsibility to pay back those loans as soon as possible. And we're going to talk a lot about that, how can you have a freedom in your life? Because as soon as you get into loans, it's a risky word. I said risk, it's not a negative word, it's a risky word, because you have to know where to use it and where not to use it. So let's build a little bit more on loans. There are a lot of loans. So education loan, even I think if you are taking a responsibility, it's okay to go for it. But there are a lot of other loans, and one of the worst loan I have seen in my life, people getting trapped to, is a credit card loans. So that's where you become slave and you leave your freedom. So just an education purpose, do you want to talk about credit card loans and how it makes you slave?
Credit card, it's not even a loan. A credit card is a way to make a payment at the time, and you will pay back. You will pay that every month. You just pay it back. It's not a long-term loan. If you look at the interest rates and all, if you needed a long-term loan, you would not go to the credit card company to get a long-term loan. You would go to a financial institute or a bank and find the lowest rate of interest that you could find, and that would not be on your credit card.
Yeah, just credit card loans are easy to swipe in, so we are trapped. Even as a curiosity, I was studying how the business of credit card works. It's very simple. They know that you spend more than what you earn. So let's say you are spending amount X, the credit card capacity is amount Y, which is definitely greater than X, because they give you loan on the annual income, not on the monthly income. And they make you think that you have double of money than what you earn. And what you do, you slowly, psychologically, you get into spending more than what you need. And then, just turn it on a single click, turn into EMIs, and it's a trap. So don't get into a trap. Credit card sometimes could be necessary because there are a lot of international payments you want to do, and that banking system may not allow in your country, but credit card, because the Visa and Master, it's easy to do. But just that part of it. Always remember, as a practice, what I follow is, if you swipe anything through credit card, you get to pay back in 1 day, not in 45 days or 30 days, because it's a way of living, very simple. So I don't spend credit cards because I don't have. I do it because there's no other way of doing it. So that's how. So credit card loan could be a worst part of people's life to get them into big trap.
Yes, it is not a loan.
It's not a loan. It's a trap, I would say. It's the right word. Second thing I want to know is, let's talk about another controversial topic, I would say, because, housing loans, a lot of people also end up buying houses. And it's a chase they do from one house to 2 to 4 and 7. And they've thought that financial freedom is having a lot of real estate properties. And I'm not saying it's a wrong way of doing it. Some part of portfolio is okay, but you can't keep chasing that way of living. So I know you also bought your first condo on Montana. What was your reason to go for a house?
Yes, I'll answer that in a minute, but also if you keep acquiring property, you're also acquiring responsibility to take care of that property.
Wow.
And that's a big commitment.
It's a big commitment.
Yes.
And one more thing I like is there's no liquidity in the properties, because let's say suddenly I need money and I say I need money in a month. I can't quickly buy. Then it's become a distress. And then a lot of real estate brokers would use undue advantage and not give me the good rates, and all those things will happen. So liquidity is very low. And second thing I'm not in favor of a lot of real estate is ROIs, return of investments, are very, very low. So if you look at a lot of investments other than real estate, like, let's talk about equity markets and mutual funds, and there are a lot of commodity markets. I am also okay if you go for maybe cryptocurrencies and all. Again, it has to be risk profiling done first before you end up into any investment. I'm just saying there are a lot of ways of investment, and yield on real estate is the lowest. Yes, there's a capital gain happens, but still yield is lowest and no liquidity. If you ask me simple advice, what's the best way is mutual funds. Don't have to think a lot. But let's go back to our question on your house. When did you buy your house? And what was the reason of buying your house?
Yes, as a single parent, we were living in a condo, my 2 daughters and I, and it happened to be a time where the interest rates were very low. I, knew my financial status, and the payment to actually purchase the property was not that different than just paying rent. And so I determined that if I purchased the condo, that would give some security for my daughters in their future, and an investment for them, rather than just pay the same amount, but it just be rent.
So it's more of a security and emotional decision. And I would also say that having one house for you and your family, a safe place to create memories, is a beautiful thing. But that may not be your financial planning way of living your life. You can buy it, but as per your risk profiling, you have to see how much percentage you can invest in real estate.
Well, and that monthly payment, you still have to look at the long-term cost.
Yeah. And it's 20 years.
And
in
how much
India, it's 20
interest.
years
Yeah.
to pay back the loans. And sometimes interest rates goes up. They don't change the EMIs. They increase the time. And if you do the calculations on the Excel sheet, it's you pay 3 to 4 times of the amount what you take in.
Yes.
That's what called interest rates and how that works. And if you invest the same thing in the simplest form is mutual funds, because someone is taking care of it, of your money, you would have grown this money 10 times. So that's for sometime else. I'm going to teach you that how to do that, but
Yeah.
it's very simple. It's a simple thing. Go to basics, and your life would be beautiful. And another thing which I like a lot about Rebecca is she also takes care of her health a lot. And I would say health is also very important part of a financial planning. You'll say, how wealth and health, they go hand in hand. So I wanted to talk about little about your health regime and why it is important to take care of your health in terms of financial planning.
Well, and I think they're closely tied. It's just that initial comment I made about being responsible for yourself. And so you're responsible. Yes, we started out with your financial responsibilities, but you're the one that's responsible for your health. And that is a lifelong commitment. And it's just, again, becomes a way of living. You take care of your health.
You take care of your health. And whatever financial planning you're doing, you're creating the wealth to live the life on your terms. And if everything is beautiful, you can pay off everything, the traveling the world and everything, then you need to have a big life also to, enjoy the planning you're doing. So health is very important. So even if you have millions of dollars in your bank account, but your health is not good, doesn't make sense. Doesn't matter. So it has to be together. Health and wealth has to be taken care in sync with each other. I also see that you follow a lot of your passion. You wrote a book, you travel, you go to universities and educate people, kids about a lot of things. You work because you love working today. You're living your life on your terms. How much of your financial planning is contributing to living your life on your terms and not thinking of finances every month, rather following your heart and doing things what you want?
Well, I think my status as of today is based on the decisions I made in the past, is that you always live within your means. And so you plan for the future at the same time. You just, you have that account set up for your future. And that's as big an investment as your health, that you watch over that, you take over that, you don't take from it, you just keep contributing to it because it's your life and your future.
Wow. Because of your experience of life, you must have also seen a lot of crashes in the economies. I know Y2K boom came, Y2K crash came in, then we had a housing bust happen in 2009, and then we have COVID bust happening, and economy approximately every 10 years takes a slow turn or breaking turn, and everything goes down. Markets crash, everything crashes. So how do you plan those bad times? Because you're doing any planning, and suddenly a big crash comes in. You open a news channel, it's there. You open your social media, it's there, and everyone is negative about how the economies are. How do you deal with that situation?
Well, and I've been speaking about my own actions and my savings and my contributions, but you also reach a point where you have a financial advisor.
Wow, financial advisor.
Because I have no idea about the markets and what's going to be happening, and I was not ready to deal with that.
Yeah, because you're an educator, your focus is following your heart, teaching kids, and all of us, we have our own life, whatever we do every day, going office or running your business, or you're a homemaker, you have a way of living. These instruments, financial instruments, are very volatile. You need an expert. Even the way Rebecca is saying, I also recommend you should have a financial planner. And those people, responsibility is to take care that you live a beautiful life. So, and I know you have a very good financial planner. So he's been taking care of, he's also giving you advice on investments.
Yes, and probably, I mean, he has a heart, and he is a financial planner, but he does care about his clients, and that he's been with me for years, and through with my daughters, and I mean, he truly looks after us, and
Wonderful.
that's something pretty special.
And if you're saying he's been with you for a long time, how many of you know there's a very powerful concept called power of compounding? Now, power of compounding will start playing in your life with a big benefit if you stay in the investments for 15 years minimum. 15 years. Then you see the miracle happening. But if someone has invested for 40, 45 years, miracle is a small word, but it all starts very early. Okay, the way she said 12, she started educating herself. And I remember you said first serious investment on the financial planning was around 30s, late 20s or late 30s. So that's where she started planning. And, with decades of investment happens. I have a very powerful quote which I would like to talk about share market specifically. Just comes to my mind as a long-term investments. It's been said that share markets or equity markets are the tool to transfer money from impatient investors to patient investors' account. It's very powerful. Let me repeat it. So, equity markets are the tool to transfer money from impatient investors to patient investors' account. So, be patient. In long term, everything beats if you have a right advisor with you. I want to also I want you to touch upon your traveling journey. How was your traveling journey? Where all you traveled, and
Yeah, I just do want to comment on your remark about being patient because, yes, you just have to ride the market.
you ride the market.
You can't react.
Yeah, you can't react.
No.
People who react will lose money for sure. You don't react. You know that you are investing for long term, minimum 15 years, and then you will be taken care. And why I'm touching upon, yes, starting early is very good, but even if let's say you are in 45, 50, you're not late. Okay, the way medical systems are, the way you're living a life, and if you are keeping yourself health on, we're going to live longer. Even if you start late, let's say 45, 50, still at 65, you can do your retirement planning. So,
And even at every age, if you're going to spend money, you say, do I really need this? Is this better put into my account, or is it better that I have another piece of clothing?
yeah, so it's a way of living. So I remember another quote that, when you're buying something, are you buying because you need it, or there's a better offer on it, or the sale is going on? A Black Friday sale is going on, or a New Year sale is going on, or Diwali sale is going on. Why are you buying? Is it because it's available on the sale and offer, or you need it? That's a very important question you need to ask yourself. Because the same money which you're spending on sale and offer, because marketers and advertiser will lure you to spend. You need to think, are you spending because you need? I remember one of the discussions I was saying, we were discussing about, just spending somewhere. And I said, no, Kailash, instead of spending here, I would rather prefer, traveling another country. Because that's what she loves. She loves traveling.
Yeah. Can you buy a plane ticket, or do you want to buy this?
Yeah, you want to buy a plane ticket, or you want to buy whatever, XYZ, you think, or maybe next iPhone, I don't know. A lot of time we chase shiny things. So just remember, if you want to buy shiny things, no harm, do it. But plan it. Don't do impulsive decisions. That's the important part of it. How much it is important to plan your retirement? Let me talk about our Indian culture's perspective. In our Indian culture, our parents were majorly in government jobs. Because India was, got freedom at 1947, and all the parents are born and died. Most of them were in government jobs. So they had their pensions coming in, and all those are safe. the generation I live in or the next generation, we don't have many government jobs. We work on private sectors and there's no commitment on the job for 40 years the way our parent had. We need to plan our retirement. Our parent may not be because government will take care of them because of pensions, but we need to. And one wrong thing happens a lot in India is a lot of places, not all the places, there are definitely good families too, but a lot of time parents start believing that I have taken care of my child from from the birth. When I'm old, it's my child's responsibility to take care of me. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying as a parent, you can have a better way of thinking. Plan your retirement. Because they have to live their own life. They have their own kids. They have their own life. They have to build life, a new economy, competition, everything is changing. Just plan yourself well. And even if you plan, they will still take care. Don't worry. But don't depend on them. So I want to talk about, because you come from US, and I want to talk about the retirement planning perspective from your perspective. I was just sharing the Indian's perspective from my side.
Well, and many jobs in the U.S., private and public, there is a retirement system, and money is put into those. It becomes part of your retirement system, but there's also the side where that's not possible. And so I was in both situations and just decided that, yes, this job pays into my retirement system, but that doesn't mean I'm free.
Wow, that's a very powerful thing.
I still need to make sure I'm contributing to my retirement system rather than counting on somebody else.
See, one more level up thinking. Even the systems are in place. Even in India, we have gratuities and PPFs and all. Still, you have to make your retirement plan because you have to beat the inflation. It's very important. Work with your financial planner. Tell him, what kind of life you need in retirement, what your goals are, and then he will help you plan everything. I also want you to touch upon, we spoke about retirement planning, and sometimes the bad times will also come in.
Sometimes.
Bedtime comes in, like suddenly you get ill, you go to hospital. I'm just talking about, we're just talking about the general market experience, not the personal experience here, because, if you take care of your health, it happens very less with you. And sometimes people also may die early because no one controls the life. It can be any reason. It could be a disease. It could be an accident. If that happens, how do you plan your finances for those unseen situations and unseen things which we don't know it will happen or not, but we still have to take care of our loved ones? Any thoughts on that?
There's not an easy answer. There are some long-term care kinds of insurance policies, and you have to, again, I worked with my financial advisor, is it, do you pay somebody to cover that long-term care, or do you contribute that money to your fund so you have it? And there's not an easy answer. There's not a simple one. The social aspects of the aging and the cost is going to be more and more of an issue. And there's not a simple answer right now.
But because our viewers are from multinationals, if you're from US and Western culture or developed countries, you can understand what Rebecca is saying. If you come from India or any other place, what is the percentage people have insurance, like medical insurance and a life insurance? How many people would have? Sort of everyone?
A good majority.
Good majority.
Yes.
That's the flip situation in our place, the country I come in from, India, where insurance is also not given very importance. People will buy insurance for the car and the bike, but not for themselves. Medical insurance are not taken. If you're working in a company would take it. People don't take the responsibility of taking their own medical insurance, which tomorrow, and it's very important because let's say suddenly something happens tomorrow to you and you are hospitalized for 15 days. The money you were saving for the future has to be taken it out. But if you have insurance, then they will take care of it. Insurance is the only money you spend every year and you don't want to use. You don't want to use, but if you want to spend every year. Even a life insurance, penetration of life insurance is also very low in India. I urge all of you to go for minimum one life insurance and one medical insurance policy, because if that's something that happens behind you, if you die, because no one controls the life, then your family would be shattered because you're still working on your financial goals, but the insurance money can save them. And same thing for hospitalization. Give importance to insurance. Go and talk to your financial advisor and tell them, I heard this podcast, and he and Rebecca suggested that we need to have insurance. Let us know how much insurance we should have. Another very important thing I'll just tell you, though your financial advisor is going to help you on that, do not think that I want this insurance money back in my account. There are certain policies which insurance will sell you. Will say you pay X amount every year, and after 20 years you're going to gain back everything. It's a wrong way of thinking. That's what I think. It's better keep your insurance as a separate instrument than an investment instrument. Insurance is just pay back and don't use it. And other side, whatever excess money you're doing, just pay more, invest more in investments. So don't confuse yourself. How do you do it? Go to your financial advisor because he's going to help you, or she's going to help you because they are experts. Don't plan everything by yourself. You are good in what you do, not at finance side of it. And now you live in Fujairah these days, and you travel a lot. Your maximum time was in UAE, and how do you still plan to travel? And what's your plan next? What are you going to do? A couple of places you still think of visiting, which are still there, and I know you're writing a next book. So a couple of things on your future plans too.
Travel is a way of living. One thing I haven't done is check off, have a list of countries to make sure I'm going to every country. I do have colleagues and friends who their goal is to reach every country, and they check them off, and they'll go somewhere just to be able to check it off their list. I don't do that because I want to go visit a place just to learn about it. And if it's an area that I need to experience and get to know the people and the culture, I'll go there. And there's some places I return to because of the culture.
Culture, you love that place.
And the experience there, yeah.
Okay.
But traveling is about learning, and it's just continually learning with and from others.
This makes me an interesting question that so you have traveled a lot, you've seen so much of cultures. So do you see financial education differs places to places, and did you learn something, good things other than US for the financial planning? And just something comes to your mind.
Yeah. No, nothing comes to my mind other than just the wide range of the living that people experience. And what if that is based on their choices? What is that is based on their more the country, the culture? Just interesting.
Yeah, I remember we had a discussion about you living with Eskimos in the house, and we are connecting the life of Eskimos with the financial planning. Would you like to touch upon that point? How was your experience with living with Eskimos?
And we don't call them Eskimos. We call them Inupiats or Yupiks.
Okay.
There's several. But it was just an opportunity to experience another culture and learn about people that are truly isolated. And that was where part of the title of my book came from, where the sun doesn't set at all. Because in the summertime, when the sun is up for 3 months, the kids might be playing outside at 3 in the morning or 3 in the afternoon. They don't have that concept of
Day and night.
Day and night. and it was just enlightening. And then how the isolated communities, they have some of the students had never met other kids their same age, except the ones in the village.
And we were discussing, when we were discussing about Eskimos, and we also looked at a lot of animals' behavior when they are living in places where there are a lot of ice is there and they have to go hibernation for a couple of months. So how these Eskimos or animals live is they preserve the food inside their houses, because they know when they are in hibernation for next 3 months, when there's not a single plant would be there, how will they live? If animals can plan, why can't human? It's a thought. There will be time where you will not be able to earn money. You need to plan your future. And don't confuse earning money and creating wealth are same thing. Don't confuse yourself. They're two different things. Everyone earns money. Everyone. But are you able to preserve that money so it becomes a wealth and money starts earning money so you don't have to work for money? It's a very simple thing. But people get confused. They get high salaries, businesses get high profits, and they just keep rotating. Don't confuse yourself with your earning money every month. You have to preserve for your retirement, for your dreams, and all those planning has to be done. And for that planning, you need a financial planner. Work with that person, okay, and that will help you. One last question from my side. Do you want to give any advice to younger generations who are looking to this podcast of ours, and now they think we need to do something about our finances?
Well, saying that you have to do something about your financial planning, that is the first step, because that responsibility of planning for yourself and taking care of yourself is the bottom line of your decisions. And so, yes, whether it's your health or your wealth, you are responsible for your future. Yes.
And make financial consciousness as a part of your life, and create a beautiful relationship with money. And you'll have to learn. Money is not just in papers and coins.
It's your life. It's
your
future.
life. Okay, build a relationship so it starts helping you, and respect it. With this, I would like to close our discussion here. Though I want to talk a lot, I've been speaking a lot, and I would like to thank Rebecca for. I know on short notice I requested on this podcast. Thank you for joining in and sharing your entire life's experiences. I got Rebecca here because there may be a lot of people, they'll give you advice and say it'll happen like that, it'll happen like that. Rebecca is a living example of how you plan your finances, how you should your life, and how you grow gracefully. Okay, so that grace of being, with gray hairs, you have to learn with the right people. And whatever she's saying, she lived on it, and that's why she's here. Thank you, Rebecca, for sharing your life experience with all of us.
Well, thank you for being interested.
Thank you very much, and see you soon again with another round of discussion with another expert. Bye-bye.